All right. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today on another live stream with photo editing where I take your pictures and edit them basically. And as always, I welcome feedback from the community here in the chat section, and I'll be willing to try anything. Because like I've always said before, I'm not always the most creative person. I'm an architectural photographer by trade. So a lot of times I just make sure the lines are straight and I'm done, right? But hopefully we'll try and do a little more with that. And and you guys have been submitting great pictures every week, and I learn as much as you do by editing these. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's see who's here. Oh, we have a lot of people from the last stream. There's Wolftick and Plato. Bob, hi. Rick is back, awesome. Rick suggesting if you have a smartphone, you can cast to your TV and then chat from your phone. I guess I got an old TV, so it doesn't have any kind of Wi-Fi or anything. But I guess I don't need it, right? I could just chat right from my phone. But anyway, but someone told me that the chat section shows up now on TVs, and I always display the chat section within the video. I just think that makes it better, for some reason, because sometimes the chat side doesn't always work. And now I know it's embedded into the stream, and I'll have it forever, right? I don't have to rely on YouTube to save the chat section separately. It'll always be combined with the video. But anyway, let me scroll down here and see. Oh, Elaine, how are you? I didn't see you in the last stream. Okay. Oh, thank you, Dave. That's very kind. Rob rocks. I try. Okay, so in no particular order, these are the images that came in. A couple last minute entries there. Oh wait, you can't see that. Hold on. And let me fix the screen so that there. All right, good. I think we're ready. So as always, I'll be using Olympus Workspace. So if you submit raw files, they need to be Olympus raw files. And then JPEGs from any camera work fine. I might do a live stream when I'm using Lightroom instead. It's actually a much more powerful editor, but since Workspace is free and almost all of us have that, and it does a good job actually. Okay, this one is from Bob. Bob Titchmarsh. Awesome. I like this. It's got nice repeating patterns right in the power lines. And it's an interesting subject because power lines are kind of scary, right? And then we have sort of the leading lines with the power lines themselves, not just the structure holding up the lines. But yeah, I like this image a lot. Let me pull it up full screen just to kind of get a, well, that's not full screen, is it? Why isn't my, hold on, I gotta get this. I have it selected. That used to work. I guess I can pop it out. No, that didn't work. This is going to be a problem if my full screen's not working right. Okay. What would I do to this if this were my image? Punch in. Wow, really good detail. What do we got here? We got a ISO 400 f9 with the Olympus 14 to 54 on an EM1 Mark II. So it looks like you're adapting an old Olympus lens, one of the old 4/3 lenses. And Yeah, that's a really sharp lens. That was probably the kit lens too back in the day, right? And it's, man, it's all centered and straight. So I'm pretty happy with the image as it is. I mean, you're dead center there. And perfectly straight. I'm trying to think, the only thing I might play with, let me try a couple of different crops without like this grass. Of course, this footing here is kind of nice too. I might crop just down to the footing and get rid of some of this. Let me give this some thought. I'm not sure about this. I don't think that works. So, because what I was thinking was that all of this up here is not adding to the image, but it kind of is, because I like these swooping lines coming in. Maybe just go narrower, right to the corners. Man, you got this thing perfectly straight. Really good job. I just feel like I need more detail on something. Like I like this. I like all of this in here. And the whole image, but the image as a whole, there's something lacking for me. Because even the exposure is just about right. I mean, it's perfect. Perfectly exposed, perfectly straight. But what's missing is there's just not enough focus on any particular aspect. Like I like all the rivets. I feel like, this image would do really well if it was a huge print. I think on a small screen that we're looking at it like here, it doesn't work quite as well. Because when you really zoom in and everything, there's a lot of really good detail and things to look at in this picture. So like this I don't think would do well on Instagram because it's just too small a format. This is more like a large format kind of picture. So there's all kinds of things in here to look at. Let me go with my original thought of just cropping out the grass. Okay, wait, I think I see something here. I just need a little different size crop. Let me add in a 3x4. No. Try square crop. Yeah, this works a little better for me. And then, I made it off center just a tiny. And then don't know about a punch, but Rick says I might need more punch in the image, but there's not, I can't think of an art filter that would work for this. Let me just scan these real quick. Because there's really not enough clouds in the sky to do that. And you know, my Vintage 3, my favorite filter maybe, but yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards there's just not enough different colors in the image to do anything. Because art filters are really good when you got lots of colors, but we got two colors here, blue and gray, basically. So maybe a black and white with a red filter to bring the skies in. Let me try that. And then some dehaze. A little bit of clarity. You thought dramatic tone looked good? Okay, well, now that I've tweaked it a little bit, let's see. Yeah, that adds some nice contrast. It takes a little bit away from here. I might be able to bring that back though. I think this works. Needs to be a little bit brighter. Right there. I feel bad we lost this sign a little bit, but this would still be a good image large. And let me check my crop again. Yeah, I'm right down to the grass. Maybe if I just put a little bit of grass in. Let me see. Ugh, I'm not so sure. Maybe that much. And oh, I know why my full screen's not working. Hold on. I changed some settings. Down here. There, there we go. I think I'll crop that bottom part out. Right there. This is it needs to be a little brighter. And probably go a little brighter. I think that's where I'd go with this. So let's see before and after. I think that works a little better because it takes away the grass, which I kind of like how the feet are planted in the grass, the legs, but that needs to be a different kind of picture. I think this picture is just about the wires and the framing, the structure, you know? What do you call that? What do you call those things that are, but yeah, I think this works better. But yeah, perfectly shot though, really was. Okay, let's move on. Nice shot though, Bob. I like it a lot. Let's see, what's the next one here? Oh, we have a cowboy here. Awesome. Man, this has been processed, hasn't it? Yeah, James submitted this. Awesome shot. He's always submitting some awesome shots. Let me look at this. I like how the sand is kicking, and so he froze this. This must be a pretty decent shutter speed too. Well, I guess let me look at the specs on the camera. ISO 100 at 4.5, 1/2500th of a second, no surprise. 52 millimeters on an 18 to 200 Nikon D7200, and it's been cropped down to 9 megapixels. So I think that's a 24 megapixel image cropped down to 9, so he cropped a lot out. Yeah, Bob, I think he might have cropped too much out. I don't know which way he cropped on this picture, but you know, he sent me a not a private message, but he was commenting on one of the videos. It might have been another live stream video, but he likes to break the rules, right? And this one certainly does, because the horse is a little bit too far left for my taste, but I'm just trying to capture what he's thinking or what he's feeling with this image. I don't think I would change anything other than I like symmetry in my images, but that's just me. So I would just frame it with a little symmetry. Maybe right about there. I mean, it's front and center. Oh, hey, Walter, how are you? um, James is here. Wait, James. Oh, the original was more horizontal. Okay. Well, yeah, James is here. This is his shot. But yeah, I think I would go with this, and then all I would do is bring up the shadows a little bit in the horse. Just make the horse a little bit brighter. I don't know if I should do it by color or... Ooh. That brought up the horse, but it brought his red shirt up too. Okay. Oh, wait. I want to be on luminance here. There we go. I would just bring the yellows up a little bit. Just like that. And yeah, a little saturation on the horse, not that much. There. That's all I would do. You know, a sepia filter would look good on this, the gentle sepia. I mean, I love the color image, but gentle sepia I think would look good on this image too. And then add a little bit of white vignette. And I mean, that's just another way to look at it, but I like this, just like this. The white vignetting's a little strong, but I like it. And then I would add some like grain or something to it. Rick says, lose the sky so his face becomes more prominent. Wow. He's squinting a little bit. Yeah, I think the pinhole works better. But I don't know about I don't think I can add grain. The way I'd have to do it is I can't use the gentle sepia filter. I like gentle sepia because it actually adjusts the tone curve for me. If I add grain this way, and then let me see, I should be able to change this to sepia. I can't do it. I can't do both. But the gentle sepia I had before I think was best. This and this. But like I said, the original image is gorgeous, really, already. If you want to get a color image, this one on the left is really good. But I feel like the sepia just feels more right to me. So this is how I would edit it if it were mine. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful shot. All right, it begins to look too photoshopped and lost the color contrast. Okay, well, let's move on. Thanks, James. Just a totally different take on the same image. Seems a bit too processed. Well, I think that's because it's too dark. I think if I brighten this up a little bit, it'll look less processed. Something like that. So that looks a little less processed, right? But okay, let's move on. That's where I would go with that one. Wait, that's two people that say lose the sky. I don't know how I would crop that. I'd have to crop it this way. Well, not that. Let me try. I'd have to crop it this way. And now I need to lose that vignette. It's a little bit too heavy. And then I would just add a subtle vignette this way. So I bet some dehaze would work too. All right. I mean, that's another way to look at it. If you don't want the sky in the image, this crop works well too. But okay, we definitely need to move on. But that's a great image. Yeah, I like the square crop better too, Walter. But a couple of people wanted to try it without a sky in it. All right, let's see. We have some trees here. So right away my eye is here, right? And obviously this is on a hill. So I think you saw the shadows in the tree, Ivan, but and what is this? This is ISO 200 f5, Olympus 60mm macro, EM5 Mark III. Man, you got quite the setup there. But man, we lost the highlights here. I know we have a raw image here, but I think these are too far gone. Especially if I'm using Workspace, I'm not going to be able to save those. Yeah, they're gone. So let's see. what I would do is I would warm this image up, and I'm going to crop out everything because there's some distractions here and here. It's just the shadows in this tree are the only thing that are interesting here. So I'm going to go this way. See what that looks like. All right. Yeah, I'm going to keep some of the fence in here, but I mean, I don't have a choice. I'd rather not have. Oh, look, there's a squirrel there too. Well, there's the shot. All right, let me see if I can save some of the shadow here. God, Workspace is terrible at this. At this kind of editing, Workspace is really bad. This needs an art filter to bring it up. And all right, let me warm it up now. There we go. I like the squirrel. I think this is all I can do here without going into some hardcore Lightroom type stuff. I just want to eyeball some of these other. Oh, maybe this might be better. And then we'll use a thinking green filter. Let me try red, see if that brings the bark in. No, it's gonna be red or green. It's not helping at all. I'm gonna do one other try here with a filter. I like the squirrel, but it's too far away. I'm gonna have to crop this a lot more. I think that's all I can do. So let's look at the before and after. And, you know, basically, I was just trying to find, because, you know, the leaves are just green. all the other trees are either too small or too dark in the shadows. I think you were trying to capture this one tree. And, you know, if that's what you're doing, get in closer and crop everything else out. I mean, it looks like you were focused on the squirrel, actually, because that's front and center, right? But it's too far away to do anything with. So I think this is the way I would go. I would focus on the shadows on this tree. And this, I like the fence here. I don't know why, but this angle, this whatever geometry this is creating, I like that. All right, let's move on. Wow, what is this? I mean, this is a bridge, but why is it crooked? Olympus 12-40 Pro, EM5 Mark III, f8, ISO 200, but this is cropped down to like 2.5 megapixels. What is this thing? I'm just so confused. I mean, it's a beautiful image. I really like this, but I'm very confused of what I'm looking at. This is some kind of dome that fell over, or oh, Des. This is another one from Des. You know, Des, I think if you're going for a style, I could say this is your style. Because I actually like all of the texture in the sky, how it got all kind of rippled out. I mean, this banding in the sky is obviously caused from over processing, but I kind of like the effect here. And I like the tones and everything. I think I would just crop out just this little bottom part here. I mean, I know it's already been cropped to death, but I would just crop out that bottom part there. And that's all I would do. And then desaturate a little bit more. Yeah, I like the tones. All right, I think that's what I would do. So let's do a comparison there. So I think the only change really is cropping out this bottom part here. I just wish we had more of the scene so I could see what it was. But the image does, I think the image stands alone. So nice shot. Okay, nice job, Des. Interesting though, I'm so confused about what's going on in that image there. Wow, that's weird. I don't think it's supposed to be like this. Let me check something. No, that's what they submitted. All right. So this is a weird shot. Oh, I see. This bird's coming out. So it's a series of shots. I love this birdhouse though. I like how it's like a little camper. what do they call those? The old teardrop campers. I think of this series, I really like this one the best here, where the bird's out, and then we got this beautiful shadow of the bird coming out. This is not bad either. God, look at the detail. What lens is this? Wow. Needed just a hair more on the shutter speed to get these sharp. Like this one is tack sharp. Of course, there's no info on the camera and lens. Oh, this is 18,000 pixels wide. So this is definitely kicked out by the misses, yeah. Yeah, but I think I like this one the best here. I just like the shadow, and then I just need to fix the skewing. Let me try just tilting it. Man, this is hard to tilt because it's part of a larger image. But I'd like the birdhouse to just be kind of level. Maybe about like that. And then just make it a little brighter. Like so. And we'll keep all the colors, but that's what I would do. Yeah, I like this shadow. This is a difficult one to crop. I might have tilted it too much. Let me back it off a bit. Because what I'm seeing is, you know, these wires hanging down should be kind of straight. Okay. I think that's all I would do on this edit. A little bit more on the midtones and shadows. And we're done. Yeah. Nice shot, Stefan. Oh, yeah. Oh, Stefan's here. Hi. EM10 Mark II with a Panasonic 50 to 200. Okay. Yeah, that's a really sharp lens. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with that. That's really good. But yeah, that's the best shot because of the shadow, right? All right. Good shot. Let's move on. Anthony Garbo. Hummingbird here. Nice. But this was, let me see. Yeah, that's why. ISO 3200. It kind of went to mush here. But you needed that for the shutter speed, and you're at f2.8. Think. I like these chains, but I don't think it works in this image. So I'm going to just crop. I'm going to do a vertical crop. I'm trying to think what I could have done as a, if I was there, what I would have done if I had an f2.8 and I have to be at 1/2000th of a second. I moved on from an amazing image. Yeah. Yeah, I could have cropped in on just the bird shadow, right? That's true. I just, you know, when you crop in so much, you lose so much detail. I think this is all I can do here. No, it doesn't do healing, Dave. It does have a clone brush, so I can do a little bit. Um, I think I'll just add a pop art and then see what shadows and bring up the shadows a tiny bit. Oh, that's saturation. Wait a minute. I meant to do shadows. Hold on. And I'm gonna crank up the blues because there's some blue on the back of this bird. What am I on? Saturation. Let me see, what is this bird? Okay. I think that's all I would do. Let's take a before and after. So yeah, that's basically a pop art filter, then some shadow and highlight work, and that's it. Man, I wish if I had the raw file, I could probably bring out a little more detail in this bird. But I think because some of the detail, I think it's there. It just got lost in the JPEG. Um, but okay, let's move on to the next one. And we're moving pretty fast, so I might go back to that birdhouse shot. Oh, I like these streaks here. Yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, that's one way to go, right? Just sacrifice some motion blur, and so you can get the body sharp. That would have been probably a really good picture too. You're right. Wow, Amir sent this one. He was in the last stream, I believe. But what I would do is try and bring out these streaks a little better. Yeah, it's a little bit cut off here on the left. So what I might do, actually, I'm going to crop the heck out of this. So I just want to, because you know we've seen 1,000 what is this? A sunflower kind of picture, but you don't get sunflower pictures with streaks in them like this in the clouds, whatever these are, sun rays or flare or something. So I'm trying to bring that out. Let me see if I can brighten the flower up a little bit, and then I wonder if I'm trying to accentuate the streaks here. Yeah, and then we need to straighten it a little bit. Okay. Almost there. I wish the sun was hitting the flower. But we'll live with that. It's still a bit crooked. I wish I could get, man, it's a little bit too tight on the flower. Meaning I'd like to get all of the leaves up here, but since I can't, maybe I just get rid of them all. I can't do that. I think this is where I'm gonna go. Just bring the saturation down a little bit. Ooh, wait, no, I don't want to do that. That looks like crap. Okay, I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Right there. Ah, it looks like it blew out some smoke. Yeah, from Star Trek. Remember that episode of Star Trek where the flowers blew up in like Spock's face, and then he had all these emotions? Yeah, a little dehaze. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Bob. See if that brings these streaks in a little better. Just a little bit, yeah. That works. I'm getting a little bit too much banding now though. But all right, let's do a comparison. Oh, I just wish there was more headroom on the sunflower. Like more blue sky above it so the flower was more in the corner. Because if I crop it in too much, I don't know if that would still work. Oh, that kind of works too. Now we see all the detail in here. I still wish we had more headroom up here, but I like this. So there's the before and after. And let me just look at this one by itself. See, by itself, I love seeing all this detail in here. All the details in the petals and then the streaking sky. There'd be a little less banding if I was working with the raw image, but I would definitely highlight these streaks a little more and try and get a smoother gradation in the sky with the raw image. But that's, yeah, it's a beautiful image otherwise. All right, let's see. Oh, last one. All right, good. Let me okay, I need to warm it up a little bit because it's golden hour, but we're losing that because this is in the shade. But I like the angle because you got nice and low, and normally I don't like rocks in the foreground because everyone says, you know, get foreground, something in the foreground, but these rocks are nice and smooth, so actually I like these rocks. And then the flowers are kind of reaching out to the sun. So they're probably on a hill, so they don't get any morning sun. That's why they're leaning out this way. They get all the sun from the right. So let's see. And this is a raw image, so I might be able to get lucky with this. I do need to warm this up though. Let me use a shadow. Yeah, that works. And I'd still like it a little warmer, but let me do it manually. Okay. All right, now I think the color's about right. Maybe just a tad warmer. All right, very good. This all looks good. Now I need to straighten it because this bridge is crooked. I mean, it probably is actually going up a little bit, but in the image, the bridge is crooked and these poles are straight. Man, this is, I think I'm still gonna tilt it just one tiny bit. Now that looks crooked the other way. Maybe, okay, just a tiny bit there. And then I want to crop this. I think I'll crop it wider because I'm not sure I can bring, what are these colors up here, I wonder. Definitely some magenta in here. And the yellows and orange. Oh, that's going to kill the flowers though. I don't want to do that. No, I can't do it on the flowers. I bet some hue would help. Let me think. I'm a little bit too magenta. All right. Man, the last one is always the hardest. The greens. Dave Nelson says the greens. Yeah, it needs a little. Could use a little more saturation in the greens, I think. Okay. All right, let's add some a little bit of punch here. Oh, I'm losing the sky though. This image would rock in Lightroom. I could bring all this sky back. It's very hard to do in Workspace. So let me do a different kind of crop. Let me think. I like this rock. I think that's what I would do. I need some contrast or something though. Okay. I'm just gonna try this real quick. I don't think that's gonna help, but yeah, that's too strong. This is gonna be too dark, but that's not bad. Actually, this wasn't bad. If I go back to the, if I go back here and reduce the contrast a little bit, bring up the shadows. Okay. I think that's it. 26 viewers. That's awesome. um, let me do a comparison and see. I think that's where I would go. So I didn't like the roots down in here, so I cropped that out. But I didn't crop out too much rocks because I love these rocks. And I wanted, it definitely has to be warmer. Because when you're in golden hour, you know, you might as well make it gold. And I think all of this gold came out really nice. But I think that's the okay, Bob, I'll take a look. Let's let it snap in. It hasn't resolved yet. Okay. There we go. That's the final image without my big head in it. Versus the before. But yeah, Lightroom and Affinity or whatever would definitely bring out the tones in here a lot better. Because you can see the art filter brought the tones back in a little bit better too. Because they're definitely there. They're not clipped. It's just Workspace is not good at highlight shadow recovery. All right. Bob said he sent a couple. It's only 5:30. I think I can squeeze a couple more in. ProRace. Oh, this is yours, ProRace. You shoot ETTR, so it's a little too bright. Oh, okay, ProRace. But yeah, definitely in Lightroom, this would definitely be no problem. Let me. But yeah, nice shot. I think you captured that scene really well. Okay, let me see what Bob did. He said he sent a couple more in. Oh wow, there's like 3 more in here. 4 more. All right, I'll do these real quick. Download. Save. Unzip. Let me make a new folder. All right, extract. Okay, I got him. Actually, where was this? Rick was saying there was something going on with the shadow here. It's hard to crop. I mean, that's another way to do it. Okay, let's go to the new images. Okay, this is from Bob. Wow, I don't think there's anything I would do here. I like this fence line. I mean, just a tiny bit of dehaze. That's about it. I just don't see anything else to do, and maybe slightly warmer in the hills. Yeah, just a shadow, Rick. Okay, I'll come back to it. maybe I don't need the haze. I can just do it here. All right, and then brighten it a tiny bit. And yeah, beautiful. That's all I can do. I wouldn't change anything else. I mean, you can barely tell I did anything at all. It just needs to be a little brighter, I think, because it's a bright day, right? It just needs to be brighter. I love this fence line. Yeah, just a little brighter. That's all I would do. Something like that. Okay, nice shot, Bob. Oh, wow. I like this too. Let me think. You know, oddly, I think this would be a good square crop. I mean, I normally like wide. Of course, if you sent me a square crop, I'd be like, let's make it wide. But since you sent me a wide crop, I'm like, let's make it square. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I feel like a square crop would be better here. I don't know why. And then just some sharpness. Yeah. All right. Let's warm it up a tiny bit. And it's my luminance. I'm a detail mechanic. What would I, these greens though, I need to tint these greens a little bit. Not all of it, but just some of it. I'd like to get a little more contrast between these seeds and the green grass, like that. Yeah, I think that works. And selective color change. Yeah, I can. All I can do is change the hue on a specific color, but fortunately, this I could see enough red in the seeds here that I was able to separate it. Because sometimes when you try to change the hue on something that's mostly green, you change it on everything. But there was just enough separation. Yeah, I was thinking about taking the sky out, but I don't want to clip. And I was trying to bring it down, but I just couldn't bring it down enough with any of the controls here. Yeah, I turned the luminance down as far as it would go here. I mean, we could crop a little more, maybe that. No, Dave, you cannot do layers with Workspace. I feel like that's just a little bit too tight. I think this works. All right, Bob, so that's what I did. I mean, it's let me cool it off. It's gotten a little bit too warm because I adjusted the hue. So we can take the warmth back off. You like the tight crop better? I didn't like it. I'll bring it back in. I wouldn't go tighter than that. No, a pop filter doesn't work on this, unfortunately. I'll try. I tried it. I tried it real quick, but I mean, both images kind of have their place. I think this wide shot is not bad, but the tight shot really captures all the textures in the leaves, and then you can really see the seeds and everything up close. And let me just see a pop filter. I think that's just too strong. That makes it look a little bit cartoonish instead of an image. Try a darker one. Oh, the darker one's not bad. But I feel like it's still a little bit too cartoonish or over processed with that, so I'm just gonna go with the regular and just go with that. I think that works. And go full screen. Yeah. I like it. I like it just like this. I cropped out some of the sky, right? But not all of it. So you can still see the leaves kind of peeking up or growing into the sky. And we've separated the seeds from the grass. Yeah, I think this works. Magrat. Magrat is hungry, Rick. Oh, okay. Let's see. How much detail do we get here? Because we're a little bit soft. We have missed focus on this image. Oh. Yeah, ProRace, you missed focus. What's your shutter speed? 1/100th? Yeah, I think you just misfocused on this. Oh, okay, so what would I do here? I feel like right here is the most interesting part. This line of this telephone poles and this road right here. Because this road is just nothing to me. And this, yeah. I think the most interesting thing is right over here. I'm gonna have to really way crop in on this. Let me see. Man, there's a red barn in here. Yeah, this tree is in the way. Dang it. What if we go on this side? No, I might have to go vertical. Shoot. I'm really trying to find something here, ProRace, because there's something here. I just can't find it. Dave says a square crop from the top of the large tree. Maybe. I just was not a fan of this road. Yeah, vertical's not going to work. I mean, if I just start applying rules to this image, you know, like this in the upper left third is a leading line into the scene and blah, blah, blah. But it's still not working for me. Let me see what's over here. Ugh. Sorry, ProRace. I just cannot find a shot in here. The interesting shot is much further over. You need to drive up more and get this curve in this road leading into these, because there's some structures back here, right? So this leading road bending around into these homes would have been a lot more interesting shot. But this is just too far back. So yeah, let's go with a soft focus because it feels like it's out of focus. Could be just my dying eyes though, you know. Okay. All right. I think that's all I can do. It's just not that, there's just nothing, everything interesting is all the way in the back. All the way back here. Yeah, use Luminar for a different sky, maybe. But yeah, the problem with this image is the road is just not that interesting. Because it's not leading to anything. And then by the time it gets to where the road is going, everything is so tiny you can't see it. You know, everything is back here. So next time if you go down this road ever again, go take a picture, but go all the way up near this road and try and capture that bend and going into it. But I think this is the best I can do. Marching squirrels. Yeah, everything is kind of flat. Yeah. I mean, when the colors are flat, just go black and white. I don't know if that's going to save it or not. Not really. What did it do to the histogram? Hold on. I mean, black and white's not much better. Okay, I have to move on. I cannot. I can't make it. I just can't find anything that I can crop in or out. Yeah, countryside atmosphere. I get that, but it needs. Wow. I do kind of get the mood because when I first opened the image, I got that impression, like, you know, nice soft lighting, you know, coming in, it's golden hour, but then it kind of ended there, right? From there, I needed to see what's going on here, who lives here, why, you know, uh, it just, yeah, it just needs more story in the image, because there's too many things. I mean, even though everything's far away, there's too many things in the image. Because we have this line of poles here, these telephone poles. We have this tree and this tree. We have this road. We got part of this. I mean, there's a lot of elements here. I would go back to the spot and either get really close to the structures in the back or work on different parts of this scene, because there's definitely an image here, but it's not, you didn't capture it. But you did capture the mood, I think. I would agree with that, because I did get that feeling. But then as a picture, it just kind of didn't work. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, Rick makes a good point. I mean, it's not the best ever, but it does give you that countryside atmosphere, and that was the first feeling I got when I opened it. I definitely felt that, but then when I was trying to make an actual image out of it, I couldn't. And that's purely a lack of my skill set, right? But yeah, you definitely saw something. You have that eye, Pro Race. You just need to go out and shoot more. This must be Elaine. Who is the? Yeah, this is Elaine. Elaine, are you here still? Because I know you came in early. Your images are already processed. There's nothing for me to do. I like this road. Wow. I mean, it's what would have been kind of cool is have like a little dog sticking out the back window or something. Because this kind of shot has been done a million times too. So it needs man, what's going on over here? It needs some kind of accent to separate it. To separate it from everything else. Like a road sign right here that said something kind of interesting, like cow crossing or something like that. And then the other thing, I'm seeing a little bit of a crack in this in the mirror. Like if that mirror was totally cracked or kind of broken, this would have been a really cool shot. Or yeah, the police back there, yeah, that would be cool. Like a police car right here, or road sign, or maybe a bug on the mirror, hanging on for your dear life, or having the mirror cracked. That would be that would separate this picture a little bit. Or Mad Max. Yeah, I think those are all great ideas to kind of separate this a little bit. Because it's definitely a cool image, very popular, but how do you separate yours from everyone else? It has to have some other element in there, something to accent it. I think a little bug here hanging on, or this mirror cracked, or yeah, State Trooper's the best. State Trooper and Mad Max, those. State Trooper in the back would be awesome. That would be my first pick. But yeah, Elaine always submits nice images. They're always really nice and totally done. Nothing for me to do. Yeah, but Dave's saying what I'm saying. Something needs to scream, "I'm special," right? Why is this image special? Um, and it needs just some kind of accent. All right, let's call it. Those are great images again, and as always, I learn a lot when I'm doing these from all your feedback. And let's see. I'm sorry, I'm just reading the last comments. But yeah, thanks for everybody dropping in. And I'll be back on Sunday, and you can submit your pictures. You know, you don't have to wait till the last minute, but you can submit your pictures even today for Sunday's stream. Uh, but everyone have a good weekend, and we'll catch up on Sunday. I can end.